You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
I'm on here liking and sharing it.
Which you all should do as well.
Yes, please. Edward, wake up! Was that loud enough to wake you?
And, yeah.
Hey. I'm Jenna.
I'm Alfie. And this is Minute To Skim It, where we, firmly believe that saying that ska is just 99% horns is a huge oversimplification of the innovative creativity that ska has brought to music. Oh my god, who am
I? What is happening?
I've seen Renfield 3 times today.
Johnson, what's up? The world's most effective alarm clock right here. That's what's up. How are the kids? Oh my goodness. Why am I so slow at liking and sharing things? I have no idea.
I mean, ska really is fun. I don't know why they had to give ska such crap. Real big fish and good close goals are good.
Okay, I have done the liking and sharing. Okay. Go. Whoops. Oh. We've had on and off blackouts, so I have a flashlight. If we disappear, sorry. Yeah, Alfie, hurry up.
This is as fast as I go.
Was the King Kong book good? Alfie, why don't you start with that then?
No.
Oh, okay.
So this is King Kong, The Great War. In which, I mean, aren't they all great?
Wow.
That was also a reference to Renfield. All right. So King Kong, it was pretty good. It takes place in 1917, and this dude, he wakes up on a beach, and he's all like, oh man, where am I? Why does this feel familiar? And then you kind of start to learn like, oh, I think this guy and the group that he's with are Nazis. Oh,
wow.
No. So this war. Cool.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah. And it looks like he's trying to escape King Kong with his group, but he seems to be like, he just keeps saying like, this, I remember this. Like it's already happened before.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it was pretty good. I'm intrigued. I didn't see dinosaurs in the book though, but there are dinos there.
You didn't see them, but you saw them.
Maybe I did. Who's to say?
All right, epic.
But it was good.
I liked this book. The full title is Something Epic. Epic.
And I love the artist for this. I can't pronounce his name, but he did a Town Called Terror as well.
Yes. So this, I really enjoyed this. So apparently, and they do a lot of statistics in there, and you know how I am with statistics. I had to go and look it up, and the statistics are true. So it starts off with a kid being born, and then they're talking about how all young children, like little babies, have like these huge imaginations, right? But by the time they're like kindergartners, only a handful of them still got imagination. And this one kid has started drawing and stuff, and he can see all the things. Like if it was like imagined as a character for a book, or if it was imagined for like a video game character, or if it was somebody's imaginary friend, they still live amongst us. We just don't be seeing it. He does. He still sees everybody's, including in his attic. He has this very scary vampire and and this cat vampire. I don't think it's actually a vampire, but it was a cat. It was cool. Were there dinosaurs in Brinfield?
No.
No.
The
Should've
Great
been.
War and it being like they're all pretty great was a reference though. 'Cause that's fun.
So, and his mom is like kind of worried about him and trying to figure out like what to do with him about it. And I think she's going to send him away. By the way, this book is so much, even the back cover was part of the book.
Yeah.
Oh, did you get to go through it?
I flipped through it, yeah.
What did you think of it?
From what I read, I did like. But I'm gonna like that anyway because I like the artist so much. So
Oh my gosh. Please put it in your pull boxes. It looks like it's going to be like a sleeper.
it looks like it's gonna be something epic.
It was something epic to me. Like, and the kid's drawing it, and they're like, "Oh, he has amazing imagination." And the kid's like, "No, I have no imagination. I just see everybody else's, and I'm drawing from real life for me because I can see the spectrum." It's just like, oh my gosh, there's so much.
That'd be a terrible power to have.
Seeing everything imaginary.
Yeah, because it's not your imagination; it's everyone else's.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's like you also see characters from like other things. Like there's a video game character in there. There was a couple of like cartoon game characters. There was movie characters. Like, oh, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to when I get home. I'm gonna like actually have to sit down and
read
like
it. Yeah,
properly read it
because it's a lot of words. It's a lot of reading, and I will tell you, it does seem like very hopeful because there's a fairy in there that's like, don't lose hope, and he's like, I'm gonna lose all my hope. I feel it, and you're like, oh no,
feels
familiar.
familiar. All right.
You're welcome, John. All right.
What am I doing? I don't know either.
Picking a book?
I guess so.
Okay.
Okay, this is Nemesis Reloaded, issue 5, and this is the last one for this bit. And it's a reimagining of Nemesis's origin story. And in this one, he gets the mayor to like admit the bad things that he's done and all this stuff, truth about his parents and whatnot. It's really good. I really love Nemesis. It's gory, it's violent, it's fun. And at the end of this, they do announce the first ever crossover of the Mark Millar universe.
Lake ass.
The Millariverse. I think that's actually what they said, I think that's actually what they did call it.
The Millariverse?
Yeah. But yeah, so Nemesis will be back in a crossover event, and I'm pretty excited about that. I just love Nemesis. I can't get enough of them.
That sounds exciting.
It's fun.
I'm going to go ahead and talk about the book that I can't really talk about.
Fair enough.
From Frank Miller Presents Ancient Enemies, Wrath and Sun. I can't say too much about it without it spoiling because it's a one-shot. So everything in here, it's very fast. It's very developed, like right away. We open up with Wraith chasing a baddie kind of on a rooftop. It's two baddies. One baddie jumps off the roof to the other roof, and the other one tries to do it and almost falls. And then the guy grabs him, and he's like, oh, ho, ho, your brother has left you. I will get my answers. And then the other brother comes back and holds a gun up to his head, and he's like, oh, yeah, watch this. And then he gets flashes of his entire life. Like when the big boom that happened in Ancient Enemies happened, he was out camping with his dad, and they were in a cabin, and his dad like takes him, starts running. And I can't really say much else than that. Yeah.
So if you want to know about it, read it.
You find out who both of them. There's two wraiths. You find out who both of them are. It was really good. It's from Dan Didio. I think that's all I can say without spoiling it. I don't want to spoil anything. Glorious fun. Yes, it was. It's glory. It's glorious. It's fun. Okay. Yeah, I can't say so much. It's very twisty, turny. Lots of spoilers. So no spoilers from Jenna. You find out who both the wraiths are. So there you go. Also, they have an invisible van. I guess that's not a spoiler, right?
Unless that was a key plot point.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It's just like it's just a little thing. Like they're walking down the alleyway, they hit the button, and the van's not invisible, and that's it.
Oh.
So, like, I guess not spoiler. Yeah. I want an invisible van. that I have a button to make uninvisible.
Well, speaking of invisible bands and cars that can camouflage themselves.
Oh.
Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker. And this is about the Joker's kids.
The ones he had with Harley or the ones he had with Punchline?
Harley.
Oh, okay. Is it the twins?
It's Jackie and I forgot his son's name.
Oh no.
uh,
Call him Grubelpapa.
yeah, Jackie and Grubelpapa. So, the Joker has like he had Jackie download himself as an AI into like her phone or something, and he's like, "Hey guys, like we're gonna go on a road trip. We're stealing the Batmobile because it can camouflage itself and all that fun stuff. And I just want to get to know you since wasn't a part of your life, and I'm dead now. So let's take a trip down memory lane. Let's go see like where I met your mom and all this fun stuff. Just having a good time." And he kind of semi kidnaps them, but he's like, "Well, I'm your dad. I can't kidnap you. It's fine. We're just going."
Wait,
on a
AI version of the Joker kidnaps his kids, but not really?
Yeah. He's like,
Okay.
"Well, I'm your dad. I can't kidnap you. That's not possible." Yeah, and Harley is definitely upset because she's like, "Dude, you can't be kidnapping our kids. That's ridiculous. Plus, you're dead. Come on, dude."
Oh, wow.
I mean, but so yeah, and she's enlisting the help of like Bruce and stuff. Like she's like, "Dude, I need my kids back." But the Joker's like, "Dude, I think Jackie is kind of going down the path that I went down, so I don't want her to do that. So I'm just taking them on a road trip so we can get to know each other."
Wow. Hey, don't be like me, so let's go see all the things that I did.
Yeah, and they might have to, fight a villain at the end. It's fun. I like it. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Where did there it is. Let's talk about The Amazing Spider-Man 25. What ever happened to Mary Jane? Okay. This is 2 stories. And the first story was so heartbreaking, I literally had to stop. So it picks up right off where the last issue left. And so they're stuck in this other dimension being hunted down by this guy who wants to sacrifice all these people to become a god. Because his god is dead now. So he needs to be god now.
Oh.
Well, I guess that's how that works now. In the Marvel Universe, that's how it works. So they're in this alternate dimension, and it's Mary Jane, Paul, and Peter are all there. They're fighting the god dude. Then Paul opens up a portal to try and save Mary Jane. Well, actually, Peter wanted to save Mary Jane because Paul has been talking about how he could only do a portal to save one person. And Peter's like, "Well, I'm going to send Mary Jane home." And right when the portal opens, what does Jane do? Spartan kick Peter back into the home universe. And he's all like, "No!" And now Mary Jane and Paul, during all of this, Paul also like uses some of his technology to just like knock out the god dude. And he goes like, the god dude just goes like running off to like, "Oh, my wounds. Oh, I need to fix myself. Oh." And yeah. So Mary Jane's like hysterical. She's like, "He's coming back for me. He's coming back for me. He's coming back for me." And we don't see what Peter is doing. You don't find out what Peter is doing during the time that they're gone until like towards the end of the first story. And but for Mary Jane and Paul, it's 4 years. For Peter, it's 1 month. And also the two of them find a couple of kids in this dimension too, and they go off and they build a home for the kids, and they're helping the kids kind of like come like deal with all the things that they've seen. They're like little like toddler, young. And one of the kids keeps calling him the squibbly man, the squibbly man. Yeah. And like he wakes up with nightmares like, please don't, you don't need to hurt us, don't hurt us. And Mary Jane's there with him, and it's just the story was so good. And you do get to see what happens with the 4 of them in this dimension. And then at the end of it, you find out what Peter was doing, and you get to see this raw emotion from everybody in the story. That's feels realistic. Like if anybody, like Jay, I love you. Like that is, yeah. And then in the second story, Peter goes to Omaha, Nebraska to go to a wedding, and somebody steals the box that has like the cards that people put in with like the money and stuff. And Peter's like, just once, I would like to go somewhere and bring the mask and not need it. Just once. So yeah, he has to chase down guys that are stealing the bride and groom's box o card gifts.
I feel like I would just go for like the actual gifts. Might be a nice blender.
Yeah, but if you go with the card gifts, that's cold hard cash.
Yeah.
It's cold hard cash.
Yeah.
So yeah. that was that. Definitely pick it up. You're gonna be heartbroken, but you're gonna like it.
Speaking of heartbreak.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and go with Saga.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm prepared.
So Saga, issue 64.
I've got the tea.
If you are not reading this, pick it up right now. I mean, leave the show on.
But yeah, leave the show on.
It is so good. And in this issue, Petrichor, it looks like she's gone back to, I'm assuming, her family home to pick up a weapon. Because she is on the hunt. She is very mad.
There's a fly. Sorry.
But with that bit, I kind of had to infer what was going on because they're speaking the language that they speak and there's no translation.
Oh, of course.
And Squire is with Hazel. They're looking for some wormwood or something for some witch.
That tracks.
And Squire suddenly can talk again.
What?
Yeah.
How?
It seems like he got a taste for blood, and that has awoken something in him. Fun stuff. And once again, Alana has found yet another job that's like, oh hey, yeah, I mean, you and your kids can like get room and board with us and stuff, but we're leaving in like 30 minutes. So have fun.
Wow.
Yeah. It's fun.
We're all having fun with this. Okay.
I wasn't expecting yeah, it's lots is happening.
All right, if we want to go for the ultimate heartbreak for today, though, Ghost Lore. All right, you see these two? That is a father and a daughter. There's also a mom and a brother. The brother hasn't spoken in like 6 or 7 months.
Oh.
He hasn't spoken.
So
and he's younger. But so the two of them, he's a preacher in a small town, and she's a teenager. The teenagers do teenage things. She's smoking out back instead of being in church where her father is like preaching, and then she puts the cigarette out in her arm, and you're like, okay, teenagers being teenagers, got it. Her mom comes up, she brushes down, she puts the thing down, her sleeve down, and she's like, what's up, Mom? And the mom's like, your father would be very upset if he found out you were smoking instead of in sermon. And she's like, okay, whatever. She's like, well, we're about to leave. And you're like, okay. And he married the other preacher's daughter in the TARDIS. Oh my gosh. That's actually how we got River, but we're not talking about that right now. We don't have enough time in the universe. So maybe if I had a TARDIS, I would have enough time. Maybe. Well, we have one in the front of the store, but no. So the two of them are kind of arguing back and forth because she can't wait to turn 18 and then move to New York, right out of her small town. Because she's not meant for small town shenanigans. She's not all part of that Grubble Fluffa. And so he's like, you know what? Why don't you drive? You have your learner's permit. You're going to have to take the test someday. So why don't you drive us home? She was like, why would I need to learn to drive? You don't have to drive in New York. It's actually a terrible idea to drive in New York. Like, oh, gosh. Oh, God. It is so bad. And so they're driving. And they're kind of arguing about this because she's like, I don't want anything to do with this. I can't wait to leave. And the dad's like, I totally understand you don't care about me and your mom, but can you at least be nice and stop talking about leaving all the time for your brother? He hasn't spoken in months. And then she like looks at the road and there's a ghost boy with a teddy. It scared the bejeebus out of me because you turn the page, it's like, bam. And you're like, oh my God. And then she crashes the car. Wear your seatbelt. No. Wear your seatbelt.
Live, laugh,
Two
love.
survive. Only 2 survive. And then they're completely surrounded by ghosts. Just completely surrounded by ghosts yelling, please hear us, please hear us. We can't move on unless you hear us. And then you also find out why the little boy hasn't spoken in months. Oh my god.
Is there a ghost doggy?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this book.
Oh my god. The reason the
I don't
boy
want
doesn't
ghost
speak, like there's a combination of ghosts, supernatural, like creatures. Oh my god. So wear your seatbelt is what I learned from this book. And everybody's dead. Although they're not all dead. Like I said, at least 2 people survive. Maybe. There's so many ghosts just screaming. And his dad is saying, for the love of God, stop telling me these things. And ghostesses are like, just listen to my story. Yeah, so the little boy's story.
Mm.
Yeah, you're
fun. Oh, well, this has a priest in it.
Oh, nice.
So, also by Mark Millar, the Ambassadors, issue 4, which I love this series. Basically, this rich lady, she is like, hey, there's going to be a kind of a contest, like, I'm picking some people and I'm giving you guys superpowers. And we're going to form, like, a collective, like a superhero group. Is there any old Sandman trades?
So right now is a review show.
Yep.
We're talking about the books that are coming out tomorrow, but if you hang out, we'll be selling these books on our next show.
Mm-hmm.
Right now is a review show.
Yeah.
I don't think there are any new Superman trades out this week.
No. Old.
Oh, no.
Brain. Okay, so they're forming a collective, and in this issue, there's a priest who, like, all of his parishioners were like, hey, you should, like, you deserve the powers. And he, like, tells the lady, like, I'm not interested. I would rather just help people through God. Like, that's what I want to do. And he ends up giving his bracelet to someone else.
Oh.
So someone else becomes Codename Brazil.
Holy gasp.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. I really like this series. I hope that this crosses over with Nemesis.
I
hope that's part of it.
Millar does.
Yes.
I mean, it is both Image, so maybe.
Yeah. Super good.
Let's go ahead and talk about Spider-Man 2099 Dark Genesis number 2. A la dos. Right? Duo.
Dos.
3 new characters. 3 new characters!
Only 3.
Oh my gosh. Please, if you're picking it up or you like anything about Blade, look, there's the new Blade 2099 right there. Right there. There he is. Also, what else was there? There was a lot. Hold on. Let me find it. There it is. So also Halloween Jack, Moon Knight, there's a new Venom. It looks like there's a side story. Hey, Kenneth, what's up? Looks like there's a side story going on with the new Venom and Moon Knight. And it feels like it's leading up to what's happening right now with Spider-Man 2099, Blade 2099, 2 other people going up against the anti-Venom / Carnage that has taken over. They came up with a name with it, but I can't pronounce it. It's like Alchemech. It's AMLYEME, like CHE.
I would have to see that word.
Yeah, like that's it. If you get a chance, please look at it because I didn't know how to say it. So they're going after him. The new symbiote is going back to the original lab that is being held on to try and destroy it. So he ends up killing everybody in the building. One of them puts his head back on his own body and is all like, oh, I'm Halloween Jack and I want to help you destroy the world. And he says it just like that too. Like super corny. And I was like, all right, okay, so we're bringing the corn in with him. Got it.
The candy corn?
Yes. And like he put his own head. He just like his blood was like you know, like Laffy Taffy, like my dudes. It's good though. I really like where this series is coming from. Alchemy? It wasn't alchemy. It was alchemy but with extra letters. How weird. Like, okay, but you look it up. I will find the actual name. You look at it. You continue.
Yeah,
I
okay.
will find the name.
I was
Oh,
like, all right.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Okay. Phantom Road number 3. Which I really like this series. It's weird. It's fun.
Alchemax. Alchemax. Is that what it is?
Alchemax? Yeah, that's how I would
Alchemax?
say that. Alchemax.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Phantom Road, issue 3. So we're in like our regular dimension right now.
Okay.
And police are investigating like a body of one of those weird husk things. And the FBI comes in and they're like, oh no, this is our case now. Don't worry about it. And they're already like kind of on the lookout, and in our dimension, the trucker and the girl that he's with, I can't remember their names, but they are listed as like missing people. And there's already like some sort of they're thinking like, oh, they're connected to this or something. But and I kind of hint at like maybe there's something weird about like their version of like what a Buc-ee's is. They're like, yeah, this particular gas station is near where all this weird stuff is happening, and they're like, yeah, but it's a huge chain. Like,
yeah,
it's a huge chain on a road. It's just they're gonna be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they kind of hint that the FBI agent might have been to this alternate dimension when she was a kid.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
as a children.
Yes. It's interesting. I'm really into it.
As a children, so that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine those husks coming after me as a children. It's spooky. Ooh. Okay. Rogue and Gambit number 3. So in the last one, we found out that Rogue knew about the mech suit that could go around and become any mutant. And we go out to, oh God, what was his name? Hold on. We went to somebody's lab that we met in the last one. Who was it?
Some dude.
Forge. His name is Forge. So we go to Forge's lab in a giant tree. And he's like, oh no, I destroyed it. Like Gambit was very angry that Rogue didn't tell him about it. Jenna's reading on the show again. I'm not. So yeah, so they're at the lab and they're like, don't touch anything. So what does Gambit do?
Touch everything?
He touches something that explodes, and then he runs over while, everybody's trying to figure out, oh my God, the explosion. It is this exploding things. And he grabs something and they run out. And she's like, darn it, Gambit, why did you go and do that? And he's like, well, he kept saying that he destroyed all the research and all the evidence and the mech suit, but every time he talked about destroying it, he looked at this drawer, so I knew there was something in here. And she's like, oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I was so mad at you. And he's like, well, why didn't you tell me about this? Like, we tell each other everything. This is what happens when we go on vacations. Destiny, your mom's wife comes up and is all like, hey, things are happening. And then we have to go on things. Like, can we just not for once? And she's like, well, okay, we'll finish this and we'll have vacation. And so they go to the building where all of the other like mutants have been, kidnapped and taken. And she's like, because somehow that was also on the disc about the mech suit. I didn't explain that part too well. Or I could have just been reading too fast and I just missed a panel or something. But anyways, and so she flies down in there because she still has Captain Marvel's powers. Just to preface that, she still has a lot of Captain Marvel's powers. And she's all of a sudden attacked by 6 or 7 heavyweight, like main people. Like we had Deathstrike, we had Juggernaut, we had there were 6 or 7 people, and they're all brainwashed to have to do whatever this guy says. And the guy's like, oh man, I'm super upset that your husband wasn't with you, but that's okay. You can bring me money too. She's like, oh, you're taking mutants, brainwashing them, and then selling them off. Okay, well, I'm about to fix this. She doesn't fix it very well.
Oh. Does she make it worse?
She fixes it.
Oh.
But it may or may not unalive them.
Oh. So basically I just put some Flex Seal on the situation for a second.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, so definitely pick it up, check it out. I'm really enjoying this series of Rogue and Gambit. I can't wait to see what Gambit's going to do once he finds out she's in trouble, because she's just trying to save the other mutants, and exploding heart syndrome.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Jenna's reading the show again. Me.
So this is Murder Inc. Jagger Rose. So, what if we lived in a reality where the top 5 crime families never gave up any of their powers? Like, they were still just the top 5 crime families.
You'd probably have different presidents.
And what if, I don't know, some assassin was told, like, hey, we want to train you at the Vatican.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird.
We're going to train you at the Vatican, and the 5 families are still the 5 families.
Yeah. That's the gist of that one. And it's like they like introduce the Pope, and it's like, that's not who the Pope is. This is definitely an alternate reality.
Is it a space lizard?
No.
Oh.
Well, could be. I mean, they haven't said no. It could be. And they did immediately talk about the Bermuda Triangle, like in the beginning.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know where it's gonna go, and how. I mean, the reality is definitely different, but it's like I don't know. Apparently, in this reality, it's totally fine to like do crazy stuff on a plane. I don't know. It's just having a whole party.
I think you actually read one more than me. If you want to do another one.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, you read one more than me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well then. I'll do Extreme Venomverse.
Oh.
And this is 3 stories. And it's all about symbiotes coming together. The first one is about Eddie Brock and him discussing about how he's like so easily bonded with his symbiote.
Right.
And then the next story is Eddie and Anne and their kid Dylan. And Dylan is essentially kind of figuring out like, oh no, I have a symbiote too. And I gotta learn how to control this. This could be big bad. And then the last one is just, symbiotes teaming up. It seems fun.
The last time symbiotes teamed up, it took Deadpool to take them down.
Yeah.
And they all took over a dog.
Nice. And then it shows the cover for issue 2, and it looks like that one's going to be about other symbiotes.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. It looks like it could be fun.
Did we read about a dog? I want to know what happened to the dog that had all the symbiotes. What happened to the dog that had all the symbiotes? How did the symbiotes get free and back on people?
I don't know. I don't have a symbiote, so I cannot answer this question.
What happened to the dog?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Hopefully he's fine. Living his little symbiote life.
Living his best little symbiote life, right? Like, because he was a stray that Deadpool took in. This was also like a decade ago, but like, what happened to the dog?
I don't know.
What happened to the dog? Oh no. Okay.
It's probably fine. When has anything bad ever happened to any animal in any comic book? Name 1.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Rocket.
Name 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Cosmo.
Name 10.
I can.
No.
I can. Stray dogs.
Yeah, I know.
That's like 10 of them right there. Oh my god, that go me. Don't spit in the wind, number 2. I am so enjoying this series. I really am.
It's good stuff. I love the art in it.
Oh my gosh. Wait, did you get to flip through this one? Oh. I think it's a giant mutant cat or bunny made out of garbage.
It's something.
It's a thing. So we actually open up with like the cult of the garbage. Is at least that's what I'm calling it. They didn't actually tell us the name. So I'm calling it the cult of the garbage because they say, what does it say? Praise to the garbage, praise to the plastic, praise the trash, like praise chaos. And you're just like,
Praise trash.
okay, all right, okay.
I love a good dumpster fire.
And it starts off with them walking up to one of the giant machines that is like scooping up trash to turn it into coffee. And they blow it up. Because they're like, yay, trash! Yay, let's keep the trash. Who needs the coffee? We want the trash. Like, okay, well, that's just rude. Then we flip over to our dude that we left off with in the first one, who's being surrounded by locusts, and his runs out of fuel, and he's like, well, here we go. He just sticks out his hand and gets taken over by locusts. At least they look like locusts, right? Yeah. I would say locusts. And then we flash over to somebody else who's just like, oh, look at that. I'm in a giant cave. And then just the giant trash like bunny is just like, and then we flash up to the space station that's orbiting Earth, and we get to learn about what's going on there. There's 3 different levels, like the mega rich, the meh, and then the super poor. And you're just like, well, I mean, okay, I guess that's how that's going to work. And yeah, apparently the mega rich, some of them be running out of the monies, and their mayor, President King Dude, just don't care. Because he just sat there eating while finding out things were happening on Earth.
It's
a la
fine.
rude.
It's fine. No need to worry.
If anything happens to that trash bunny, I'm going to be sad. I don't care if he's eating people or not.
Praise trash.
Praise chaos.
Praise be the trash. Okay. This is Spirit World. And in this we have I think the name was Xanthi. I think that's how it would be pronounced. But they're trying to get back to the Spirit World because that's part of their powers and stuff. And it looks like they're going to be teaming up with Constantine, who I love Constantine.
I love Constantine.
Going to be teaming up with Constantine and I think Batgirl. I think to figure stuff out. And I think it's really neat to see like a different culture in comic books that I don't normally see because like even on the front, like the names are in Mandarin.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, and they make references to it and they talk about the Chinese culture a little bit. It's pretty cool, and they even have they have like weird ghosts that are definitely different than ours. And yeah, I really dug it. I'm kind of excited for this one.
I do like that other cultures are really starting to show up in comics. That's so cool to me. Because when I grew up, the fairy tales that I heard were vastly different than the fairy tales in here. Like, I never heard that fairies were good till I moved here.
Yeah.
Fairies have always been terrible, like, people eating things.
Yeah, but we grew up with, like, Tinkerbell and stuff like that.
I didn't.
Yeah. Well, I said we as a collective.
Oh,
American.
yeah. Definitely. It was, so it was really nice to get to learn about more cultures in books. Meeny, meeny, miny, this one. All right, this is Mystere Annual from Zenescope. It's a one-shot, but it also is leading into a bigger storyline that's going on with the main storyline. And also, look how beautiful that artwork is. So it opens up with Mystere is fighting a giant hellhound because this housewife accidentally turned herself into a demon because her husband be cheating and not nice all the time. And by not nice, he never hits her or anything. He just ignores her a lot just so he can go cheat. So she accidentally made a deal. Well, accidentally is strong word. She was trying to make a deal for her soul to be sold to this demon so that way he would kill the husband. But instead, the demon was like, forget it, you're a demon now. And she accidentally summoned a hellhound, and she's like controlling lightly the hellhound, like with a leash to attack, everything else. All she wants to do is take out her cheating husband. And Mystere is just like, look, you can't use a hellhound to take out a cheating husband. He's trash. I get that. But maybe not the murder?
But when demon give you hellhound, I think you should make dinner out of cheating husband.
Yeah, like even Mystere was like, now hold on a minute. She got upsold. Yes, and hi there. And so it's like she's using this hellhound, and like Mystere is just like, look, I don't care as long as it doesn't contain murder. If you want to torture him, but let's not murder him. And so what does the wife do? She turns the hellhound on Mystere, who then has to use all these souls around her to try and hold back. And she's like, okay, now you've made this personal. And she turns the hellhound back onto the wife. And then the guy's like, thanks. And she's like, get lost or I'm going to torture you. This is all your fault. And he's like, okay, bye. And just starts running off. And then she gets back into town, but kind of notices that people are kind of like, like zombies, but not actually zombies. Not the zombies of like brainwashing, but not the zombies of like the Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And all of these people had been brought into this giant room with a tank with, what did I call octopus with more eyes?
Yes.
With a giant octopus with like extra eyes that was brainwashing people. And then Mystere is like following them and she's like, what the heck? And she tries to fight it, but it's starting to take her over. And then a bunch of like old ancient souls show up and are like, hey, by the way, these be aliens. These be aliens. Like, we fought them before civilization was a civilization. Like, we were the first humans. We tried to fight them. We kind of took them out, but I guess we missed a couple. Oops-a-daisy. But we'll help you fight them from the spirit realm because we need to use you to come out because only you have the powers to make us, like, actually be able to grab things. And she's like, oh, you want to use me? And they're like, well, I mean, yeah, we're trying to help you take out the aliens. And she's like, well, I mean, I guess. Okay. And so they go to fight the aliens, but instead the alien is all like, I'm going to suck up all the souls and give myself a full body. By the way, Cthulhu was an alien.
He's an elder.
The Elder God's an alien now. They shot from space. I don't know why I find that so funny. Yeah, so they're ancient beings from Earth, from before there was civilization. This book was twisty and turny. It's a one-shot, so it's a completed storyline. If you want to see kind of like how it ends, definitely pick up the book. It is 64 pages, so
This is 29.
I've never heard that Cthulhu was an alien before.
I don't think I have either. That's always been Elder God.
Yeah. Yeah. And they actually like name drop Cthulhu in it too. They're like, oh yeah, we brought our king, Cthulhu, from space to take you guys out. But you guys defeated us, but we're coming back. And it's all in the middle of New Orleans.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. It's all in the middle of New Orleans happening.
Where else would it be happening?
I don't know, New York? Why not a cornfield in Kansas?
Because New Orleans is spooky. It's scary.
Yeah, but if they do it in a cornfield in Kansas, nobody would know about them until it was too late and they were already strong enough. Plus, it's a cornfield.
Overdone.
Who thinks of Cthulhu in a cornfield, though, right? Like,
I'm going to say not most people since he's water-based.
and now he's an alien.
Oh, maybe that's why it has to be New Orleans. It's
Water. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
Flood's easy.
Okay. Did you just say floods?
It floods easy. It's
Oh, I heard
it's not.
something else.
No. So this is Silk, number 1. And this is it has a very in the beginning it has a very film noir feel. Cindy Moon, she's like doing detective work and stuff, and then she kind of comes to and she's like, wait a second, I'm not a detective. And I definitely don't wear stockings. Like, what is this? What's going on? And then she kind of realizes, like, oh, I'm dreaming.
Oh,
This isn't real.
Oh.
And it seems like maybe it's like a forced coma type thing. But it seems like she's going to be doing like dreams, like just weird movie stuff.
Okay.
Because it looks like the next one might be a Western. So yeah, it seems fun. I like it.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have Guardians of the Galaxy in the Old West. Now we're gonna have Silk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice little train robbery type stuff. Classic.
Classic.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked it. I like the art in it a lot. It's really good. I dig it.
I forgot to do something. I did. Donna DC, Green Lantern. This is Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. The first story is Hal Jordan, and so it is set presently, but a month ago, he had lost his ring Actually, a few months ago, he lost his ring. A month ago, somebody attacked the city with his ring, and so he got it back. And now he's back after being missing for a month after getting his ring back. We don't know what happened in that month. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. From the moment he got his ring back to the time he came back, there's a whole month missing where he's been missing, and now he's back, and he's cockier than ever. Is there another word for that? He's more of a dick. No? Okay.
No.
He's more of a jerk.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's super sassy. Yeah. In the second story, Jon Stewart is coming home to his mom because now he's got some free time. That's a flashback. And then in the second part of that same story, he is possibly dying because somebody is attacking the main lantern that helps everybody recharge their other lanterns that helps them recharge their rings. Yeah, I feel like those two stories are going to cross over at some point.
Probably.
Like, what was Hal doing for that month? And is this actually Hal? Because I don't remember Hal being such a sassy jerk. Or am I thinking of somebody else? I can't remember. But yeah, it definitely looks like either somebody, like, I want to know what happened during that month that he was missing. And also, like, why is he crashing planes again?
For fun.
For fun. I mean, he used to be a pilot.
I
don't know.
One.
Gus is usually the jerk. Guy is usually the jerk one. That's right. It's usually Guy, who was one of the first lanterns, is usually the jerk, not him. So that's why I'm very confused on why Hal is the jerk this time around. He's like, hey, it's been a long time. And she's like, I'm busy.
Maybe it's been Guy all along.
Yes.
I guess. Okay, I believe that this is my last one.
Okay.
Okay, the Great British Bump Off number 2. And yes, it is the Great British Bake Off, but with crime.
Is there murder?
There is murder.
Gasp.
There's murder afoot. So Shauna, in the first one, volunteered to solve a murder, but she also has to stay in the competition long enough to solve a murder.
Oh my gosh.
And another contestant found her notes on the poisoning and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Eddie's trying to start a fight.
Stop. Just stop. And these contestants are like, man, this lady must be crazy. Like, she has to get out of the competition. We can't handle this. But Sean is freaking out because she's not doing well.
Oh no.
She's not doing well in the competition because she's too focused on murder.
Well, it should be competition with a side of murder. That's what it's supposed to be.
It should have been. But she's focusing too much on murder.
Okay.
And she needs to focus on baking or else she'll get kicked off.
Gasp.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I really like it. It's really silly. And the art is exactly like on the cover.
He's the only one with personality. Now, hold on. I love John. John has a whole lot of angry personality, and I feel that personally. All right, so the last one I think we both read?
Yes.
The Nasty, number 2.
Good stuff.
Oh my God. So as soon as I finished this book, I turned to Alfie and I was like, yeah, the movie show that they're putting on, or the movie show.
Convention.
The convention that they're putting on, I wish we could go to. So it picks up where the last one left off. Our main dude who has his imaginary friend,
Yeah.
who is, the main killer dude from that other movie about the parade. What was it? Was it Arbor Day or
Labor Day?
Labor Day. You're right. Labor Day. Oh my God. So they are trying to remake this movie, but they're trying to fix the VHS. The main dude's trying to fix the VHS that this cursed movie is, and he's realized he did. I was very confused by that, if he did or didn't. I think it's up to the reader how they feel if he did or didn't. And so he's like, you know what? We can make our own movie. So he's convinced his friends at the movie theater, which there was a movie that the chick was talking about that I really wanted, where the guy just like pokes his hand and somebody starts talking. He's like, the first time you ever said love me was because you were dead. Oh, like the movie that she's describing to the old lady is perfection. I wish it was real and we could watch it. I really do.
Based on the title alone, honestly.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
So he's convinced his friends now that they can make their own Gore Fest movie, and he's going around the town and pretty much like getting everybody to help. Like he gets one set of people from the theater that you're a tree. They're going to act in the show or the movie. Then they also have props people. They're gonna make like prop things that work down like the Ace Hardware store, and so they've got everybody from the town is going to be doing something in the movie. And then they're like, okay, but like, how are we going to have this killer? And then pops out his imaginary friend is not imaginary. He's real. Oh, but then he just disappears. And you're like, okay, is he real or imaginary?
Group psychosis.
Group psychosis. The one dude got split in half. So maybe he's real, but did he actually get split in half?
I don't know. Group psychosis.
Group psychosis. I agree with that. It's really good. I'm loving the series from Vault. I'm super excited to read more. Alfie, what do you think of it?
I really like it, but I mean, it ticks all of my boxes for everything that I like. So I mean, it's horror, deals with movies and
Horror convention.
Yeah,
Imaginary convention.
imaginary friends.
Deadly imaginary friends.
Yes, which are the best.
Yes.
Super fun.
Love John Lee's. Yes. Yes. And I think that's it.
I believe so.
I think that's all of our books for this week. We had a lot. We read a lot. We talked about a lot. These were our books. This has been Minute to Skim It.
And it hasn't been Winfield, unfortunately.
It's been a dope shirt though.
Yeah. I like my
Nice.
shirt.
I think I've been Jenna.
Yeah. Oh, what's your pick?
Oh, my pick of the week? Probably Ghost Lore
Nice.
or something epic. It's a tie between those two. Between my favorites of this week. What about yours?
I have to go with Nemesis Reloaded. Because Nemesis is kind of cute.
Is it because his face is covered?
Yes. And he's just awful. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrible.
I'm actually super surprised it wasn't Saga.
Well, I really love Saga, but I feel like that's just a gimme. Like,
Yeah.
Of course I love Saga.
Of course, Saga's so good. Like, and Don't Spit in the Wind's super good. But like of number ones, it's either something epic or Ghost Lore. They're right up there with each other. I cannot wait to read more of both of them. It feels like both of them are going to lead to be hopelessness. And I feel that personally.
Yeah.
And that's it. This has been Minute to Skim It. That's been Alfie.
Yep.
I think.
And definitely not Robert Montague Winfield. It's definitely not who I've been.
I've been Jenna.
I'm just #1 Scott fan.
I'm definitely not Nicolas Cage.
And nobody is, not even Nicolas Cage. Do you know he filed down his teeth to get the dentures fitted?
This has been Minute to Skim It on the experience. We'll see you guys again, what, Thursday?
Yeah. Yes.
Thursday's our next show on the experience. We'll be in about 5 minutes over on the CBSN.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.